Hello. Thank you for joining me today. This is another edition of Backseat Chronicles, where I update you on my life. I've been living in the back of my car. It's been several months now. I celebrated the new year in here. And, I'm learning a lot about myself, which is a good thing and a bad thing, I guess. On my journey, I do have 2 cats with me. And I guess let's give an update on that. The cats have been I haven't had any issues with them, in all honesty. The litter box stinks every once in a while, but it's just like living with roommates that use the bathroom. I mean, it smells when they're done and the smell goes away. To me, it's not a big deal. I have, had a few frustrating moments with litter getting places. I did make some adjustments and I went with a more natural litter. I don't remember who. I think it's like Arm& Hammer, like baking soda. It's more like a sawdust instead of an actual seeded, or like the little balls of litter, the clay, which I feel like it tracks less. It's less annoying when it does get in areas than the little clay balls. So that's, I think, the first adjustment that we made is we switched to like a more natural sawdust litter. They do have their own space with food and water, but I keep the water contained because I spilled it so many times. Their little water bowl would spill while we're driving, so we always keep a lid on it while we're driving, and it's available any other time we're not. Toys, it's not really a space that's gonna offer a lot of play area, but we did get one of those like little sticks with some feather on it. They really like that, and they have this little toy worm that they like playing with on the dashboard. So I keep that out when we're not driving. We're parked for the night. I always make sure I find where they've thrown that, and those were kind of like their 2 activities. Now, one of my cats does have a leash and a harness, and so that cat does get to go outside sometimes. I've just have more experience with that cat being outdoors, and my other cat is kind of like nocturnal. He only comes out at night, so there's no way I would let this cat out either. He's just a bit feral. And I think otherwise, there's not really been too much of an issue with having the cats with me. I would say I'd rather have them with me than not have them. But, it's really enjoyable having someone. I call it cuddle times. One of the cat she just chooses the time of the day, and, we'll be parked somewhere, or it'll be early in the morning before we leave, and we'll have like a little cuddle session. It's quite enjoyable having a friend with you on the road. So that's all I'm going to say about the cats, I guess. Food. Let's go with food. I'm sitting right in front of the cooler. I bought a Lifetime cooler, and it's 28 whatever, and it's bear proof. Now, it doesn't have a spout to drain any liquid because of the fact that it's bear proof. It wouldn't be bear proof if they had put in a spout on this one. So I don't really mind having to drain the water. It just does not last as long as they said it was supposed to last. Even when the cooler's already pre-chilled, like I'm pretty sure they claimed 5 days. The ice is done after a day and a half. So it does not, and we're not in the middle of the summer yet. This has been the off season that I've been using it. Is it the perfect size for me? Really, it is, honestly. And I like that I don't drain a bunch of battery usage. So I keep things in here that even if the ice melts, like the water's really cold, it's not, it's not like I'm, I don't know, like lemons. I'm trying to give an example of what things that I would be okay with. It's not spoiling. I don't have like cheese or something in there. I would make sure I always had ice if I had like things that I really need to keep refrigerated, but I don't try to overpack it or anything either. So it's usually just beverages. I really like the immunity drinks. I'm into my like turmeric shots and the different like elderberry. Something about it. It gives me a little boost on the road. So I do like to pick those up too. And then for creamer, I actually get the shelf boxed evaporated milk from Carnation. And then once I open it, it goes in here. But it's gone within a few days. So that's what I do for creamer. No milk or half and half or funky creamers. I cut, when I got cancer years ago, I cut out those like fake creamers and I went with just Orgain's vanilla protein powder and some sort of like almond milk, or like the evaporated milk is what I've been using because I'm on the road. But I don't use any of the like other sugary weird creamers anymore. And I did end up losing a lot of weight when I cut that out. So refrigeration, that's basically it. Other grocery wise, I love Trader Joe's. I can't buy anything that's like frozen or needs to be refrigerated for a while. So I'm really only going like getting kind of fresh things there or snacks. And I don't get to go very often, but I did recently go to one and I loaded up on some like car snacks. So just gummy bears. They had this thing, it was like Fritos dipped in chocolate and wavy potato chips dipped in chocolate. Yes, I will try that, Trader Joe's. Thank you. I found my honey yogurts. I love honey Greek yogurt. They had those there. And the chili flakes. I'm addicted to the chili onion flakes. So good. So I loaded up at the Trader Joe's. I still walked out of there for it was less than $50. It's not like I can stock up on a ton of stuff. But that's been kind of pleasant. And then I try to keep that to a minimum. So I have like this bag right here. And that is what I hold like any bread or snacks, things like that in. And then I have a kitchen area here, that I just restock when I need to. And that's just like coffee, your basic, kind of some dry goods, the coffee, the Orgain protein powder, spices. I had so many spices when I left for this trip. I haven't had to replace anything like that. I'm just kind of going through things and then getting rid of it, trying to get through some of the pantry items that I stocked with me. So that's the recap on the food and the drink. Now, I do go to the laundromat, and that's kind of interesting because I haven't had to go to the laundromat in many a moon. I've honestly want to say it's been a good like 20 years since I had to really use a laundromat. I always rent places that have a washer and dryer. So, that's been kind of different, and I don't go too often. I've really wrapped it up to like 3 weeks to a month, somewhere in there. And that's because I have a whole bin of backup. This is the nocturnal cat. You guys are... Did baby? You gonna say hi to the camera? You gonna say hi to the camera, baby? I might have to cut some of this out, huh? Because we're blocking the camera. That's my nocturnal cat, Frankie. He's eating some food like right in front of me right now. But anyways, laundry, I don't have like a sheet bed system. Like I'm laying on top of a sleeping bag. I'm not even like inside of the sleeping bag. So I rotate it, like I flip it. If it feels dirty on one side, I flip it to the other side. And then I end up taking it to the laundromat when I do laundry. And then I have a flannel cover on my duvet. And I take that, and that gets washed as well. But I do like air it out. I like to do the cold air, like shake it out and let it like, sometimes I like throw it on top of the roof and just let the sun kind of like hit it, my duvet comforter that I have. But again, every 3 weeks to a month I'm doing laundry. And I have a bin that I store all of the laundry in, and then I have 2 travel bags so I don't have to constantly go through it. I keep a bag for like pants and then a bag for tops and sweaters and things. And then as that gets dirty, I have a heavy duty dry sack, like a giant one, that ends up being my dirty laundry. It fills up eventually. And so with that, I end up having the bin kind of get emptied out before I go do laundry. So I never like run into an empty bin where I don't have any clean laundry. And I've brought, I don't even know how many pairs of underwear with me. I have a lot of underwear. I don't run out of, I change my underwear whenever I please. If I want to wear 2 clean pairs of underwear that day, then I am doing 2 pairs of underwear. I have no worries about clean underwear, and I just feel like as someone like living in your car and traveling, that is like the nicest thing, to just feel some sort of like comfort with that clean clothes. So with that, I feel like that kind of covers the clothes. I do have a pair of shoes, like tennis shoes that I'm wearing normally, and then I have a pair of generic Crocs that I wear at night. Like I have them kind of like on the side here, by the door, on the side of the door, so when I go to leave I can just like throw them on real quick. And I always have my keys in my coat next to me as well, so if I have to go to the bathroom like real quick, I have the keys in the coat and the shoes all ready to go. Here's the other cat. Camping. I have not really camped other than in my car. I did go to Joshua Tree and I camped in a tent there. And I don't mind the tent camping. It just hasn't been ideal. And I also don't want to pay. I want it to be free. So, Joshua Tree was nice, except for it got really cold at night. So I still slept in the car, even though I had the tent there. And it was really hot during the day. It was enjoyable, but not enjoyable camping. I'm from Michigan. I like Michigan camping. I don't know if that makes sense. I can handle bugs, but the inconsistency of the temperature, I don't know why that kind of got to me. I like summer camping where it's just like hot and humid. I could handle that. But the up and down, I don't know why it got to me. I only camped 3 days. But I've traveled all the way down the West Coast and then all the way over and then to the East Coast, as in all the way to Florida, and then down Florida's coast to the Everglades. I did go to Key West. With all that traveling, what have I encountered? Well, I honestly have not had really any issues. I can say Florida is the only place that I've gotten pulled over. I lived in North Dakota, or stayed in North Dakota for like 2 years. I never got pulled over. Like, I lived in Michigan like 14 years, never got pulled over. I am in Florida less than 2 weeks. I got pulled over twice. And you know what? People make mistakes. I can tell you I don't speed. I try to follow every one of the laws that I can, and they got me because my back light was out. And mind you, I had just gotten an oil change where they inspect all the lights like 5 days, 3 days prior, somewhere around there. It was just a few days prior to this ticket. I think it was 5 days. Somewhere around there. But they did not give me a warning. They gave me a $166 ticket. So that was nice. Yeah, I went to Florida and all I got was a ticket. No, they pulled me over again. I'm astounded that this happened, but I was apparently speeding in a school zone. I can tell you I didn't even know that there was a school anywhere around me. I was going through one of those downtown, like, beach towns, so it didn't look like you're going through like a normal town. I want to say that. And there was a ton of constructions. It was 4 lanes going this way and just a ton of construction. So there's like all kinds of weird signs. And I didn't know this until after. Their school signs are up top. So it was something that was blinking yellow up top, and I apparently missed it. I very much tried to pay attention I wanted to make sure, because where I'm used up north, our school signs are like right here, and then they have the picture of the kid, like it's very clear right there. But this was like, somehow it was a sign that went up above. And I admit I missed it. Because I would never speed in a kid's school zone. And mind you, I was only going 35, and the speed limit, normal speed limit was 35. So I think he understood it was a true, just like not about the light too, but he knew I wasn't doing it on purpose, because I never get pulled over. And he gave me a warning. Thank freaking God. I don't even know how much that ticket would have been, because he said it would have been really expensive because it was speeding in the school zone. I'm like, I don't speed. I literally never. After they gave me the first ticket, I was monitoring my speed with the, the little speed setter, and I was like putting it dead on what the speed was supposed to be. I wasn't going 2 over, 3 over, 5 over. I wasn't going anything over. I was like, they don't mess around in Florida. Like, I was really trying my hardest to not, I'm like, I don't want to do anything to mess up. And I got pulled over again. I was like, oh my God. So it's just like bad juju. Florida's got beef with me. And I got to get out of here. Like, I'm telling you, I'm on my way out. I don't want to get pulled over again. I don't need this stress. So that's the update on the popos. Now, weird people like me, again, I've been on the road for a few months and I've traveled many, many, many states. I have not really ran into a bunch of weird people. I'm a hermit. I keep to myself. I'm just here in my car. Like, I don't know how much trouble I could get into. And I know, like, a lot of people that I told when I was doing this were worried about me. But in my mind, I'm like, nobody pays attention to me anyways. Like, whether I'm in a house or in a car, like, I kind of just don't exist in this world for somehow. So I wasn't really, like, worried about that either. And I haven't came across anybody. Except for one time, and this was in outside the Bay Area of San Francisco, at the rest stop that I stayed there, when I pulled in there's always kind of people that live at these, you could just tell they're like, they stay there on a normal basis, and I could tell she was one of them. She came and ran to the back of my car and looked at my license plate, and then she went up, like I could tell she like didn't recognize it. I don't know what, but she moved away immediately. She didn't come approach me. She didn't do anything, and this is like 6 p.m. The sun had not quite set yet. She went about her way. She's talking to other people that are there. La-di-da-di-da. I don't pay her much mind. I end up having a great, night and go about my merry way, go to bed like I normally do. And I hear somebody knocking at my window at some point. And it's like one of those. And I'm like, this can't be the police knock, because like, this rest stop is packed full of people. Why would they just come single me out and be like, you gotta leave? And I'm looking like out the back window and I can see like the people that were there when I went to bed are still there. I'm like, this is not and plus the police would be like, this is the police. So I just ignored it. Then they go around to the next window in my car. They're just going around each window of my car and doing tap, 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 tap. So I take my keys and I honk the horn. I go, boop, it's like you're setting your alarm. Burp, 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 burp. And they don't take the hint. They're still knocking. So then I just lay on it and it's going burp, 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 burp. Mind you, I'm thinking it's like 3 a.m. or something. And they're not giving up. They continue to tap on my window. So I open up, like I'm in the back. I open up the back seat and I hang out the car like Donkey Kong or something. And I'm like, get the fuck away from my car. And it's that little old lady that had came to look at my plates. I don't know why she's tapping on my windows, but I'm like, my gut kind of felt that she thought I was somebody else. And her eyes got like really big and she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I was like, get the fuck away from me. I just yelled it again. Because I don't know I just know I'm at a rest stop that people like kind of live at, and I'm not one of the regulars. I'm just, but I wanted to like say, this is my turf, get away from my car and me, my little bubble here. And she did. And I'm like, oh my God, in my head, like, waking me up in the middle of the night, these crazy people, like, what did she want? Why was she tapping on my window? And I look in it's like 6:30, almost 7 a.m. So it wasn't really in the middle of the night. Do I know why she was tapping on my window? No clue. She didn't go and tap on anybody else's window. I don't know if she thought, like, she recognized, like, somebody she knows drives this similar car, and she forgot that she had, like, checked my plates, or, like, late the night before, because I clearly had out-of-state plates. But that was the worst that's happened to me so far. And I stood my ground. I don't feel guilty about it, you know? It is what it is. She could have been trying to cause me harm. I really didn't know. I wasn't like looking out the window to see who it was. I just popped out and was like, get the fuck away. But that's as wild as it's really gotten as far as people. And I keep saying that maybe I'm the one that people are trying to avoid. Right, Frankie Bees? Did the baby Frankie? Do you want to come say hi to the camera, baby Frankie? This baby Frankie. Baby Frankie. Oh, what a good baby. What a good baby. He's been really good. He's been more lovey since living in the car than he was before. He used to hide like a lot. Now there's really nowhere he can hide. He's forced to be family with us. But yeah. Continuing my travels. I really feel like I'm done. I would like to find a place. I don't know if I should just pull the trigger and try to buy some like cheap land somewhere and then like try to camp on it, like do that, or if I get back into the rentals. I've looked at both, and the idea of renting a place again is just, it's like, ugh. We don't want to do it. We want to own. But we need more space than this little tiny car. I can't stretch out, and I can't get my mind wrapped around my business. Like, I need to be working and really motivated and actively pushing that forward as well. And I just can't do, like, it's just not enough space. I think if it was an RV or maybe even like the vans, like I would have the bed and then space to stand up and space to have a kitchen table. I've used to living in efficiencies in small places, but this is just, I'm like a hamster in a little cage in here, and it's just not enough. Like, I can't focus on what I need to do to make money, and I really need to be making money now. I can't be just like, I'm just gonna live in my car and not make any money. That's not what we're doing. We gotta focus. So that's the update, folks. I'm gonna let you go, and I hope you tune in. I hope you're enjoying the little cat videos that we post on a daily basis, and we'll see you soon.